My name is Brother D, and I believe in indie wrestling, like Memphis wrestling, and I've been looking forward to this episode. We're going to finally find out who Big John Dalton's partner will be in the Tag Team Championship match. Buff Bagwell is not medically cleared to compete, but he's promised to make some calls to hook Dalton up with somebody from his WCW past. This episode is also their Championship Saturday episode, which means that every Memphis wrestling title is on the line. Plus, as a bonus, Game Changer Wrestling World Champion Blake Christian is defending his title against Memphis Wrestling's own Zay Washington. This is going to be a packed episode, and I am here for it. The first match is for the Women's Championship. The Golden One, Cassandra Golden, is challenging champion Mackenzie Morgan. Now, there's some reference to the eye attack that happened a couple of weeks ago, but they don't dwell on it too much. MKZ's eye is just fine. I love that when commentator Terrence Howard gets in the ring to introduce the opening bout, his fellow commentator Dustin Starr can be heard on his mic saying, "Oh yeah." Now the match starts, and a few moments in, it seems like we're going to give more than a series of championship matches in this episode of Memphis Wrestling. While MKZ is bringing it to Cassandra Golden, Nixie XS appears outside the ring, but not to interfere. She's taking notes. Is she scouting the champion? Is she taking notes for something related to her recent appearance on WWE Raw? Who knows? Maybe we'll find out in a future episode. Now, this appearance does not distract from the match. Both wrestlers are putting on a really good show, and despite one obviously needing to lose, that's how matches work, neither come away looking weak. Now, the next title on the line is the Memphis Wrestling Internet Championship. Tim the Boz Bosby is challenging the problem child, Aaron Roberts. If the Boz wins, he does something that no one has ever done in Memphis wrestling before. He'll become a 3-time internet champion, as if trying to win the title isn't enough pressure, right? Now, the problem child, Aaron Roberts, is accompanied to the ring by Justin Case. The Boz doesn't have anyone with him, but he's not exactly alone. The audience is chanting his name. They're with him. Roberts is billed at 420 pounds, and he lands a dropkick on Tim Bosby that knocks him senseless, but not long enough to keep him from landing a tornado DDT on the problem child. We go to commercial, and when we come back, the tide is turned, and Bosby is almost pinned by Roberts. He fights back, and then Justin Case being ringside finally becomes a factor in this match. You've probably noticed, I'm not telling you who won these matches. That's by design. I want you to go and watch these matches for yourself. In every one of these videos here on Suplex Stream, if you check down below in the description, you'll find a link to the show that I'm talking about. You know what else you're going to find down below? The subscribe button. Please like and subscribe to the Suplex Stream so you don't miss out on any future videos. The next title match is that cross-promotion match. The Chosen One, Zay Washington, is challenging Blake Christian, the Game Changer Wrestling World Champion. Now this is going to be interesting. GCW style is usually a little different than Memphis Wrestling's. How is Washington going to fare against Blake Christian? Well, fairly well at first, it turns out. The offense and defense is very fast-paced, and only pauses for a moment for Blake Christian to offer to shake Zay Washington's hand. Blake isn't being sincere, though, and takes advantage of the break to lay in a punch and a kick before whipping Washington into the ropes. Washington recovers quickly, though, and delivers an arm drag and a solid powerbomb. Despite this, Blake Christian seems to be the most in control for most of the match. There's a beautiful springboard 450 splash that leads to the nearest near fall that I've ever seen watching Memphis wrestling. The commentators, Starr and Howard, do a really good job putting over Game Changer Wrestling, sometimes too much for my taste, in that it almost comes across as if they're saying it would be unheard of for a Memphis wrestling guy to beat a GCW guy. Memphis Wrestling has had titles from other promotions defending on their programming as well, like NWA's or Reality of Wrestling's, but it felt a bit too self-effacing when commentary asks if we can imagine if it could actually happen to see a Memphis Wrestling guy win. The next match is the one we've been waiting for a couple weeks now. It's the Tag Team Championship match, and I was a little confused because apparently the number 1 contendership match we saw 2 weeks ago was not for this week's championship match. Rather, the winner of that match will go on to face the winners of this match. I had to go back and rewatch that number 1 contendership match. Darn, I had to watch more wrestling to make sure I didn't miss something. And apparently, I did, because Dustin Starr did say this. I just happened to miss it. I must have been too caught up in the action. Anyway, this week, it's about two teams. The challengers being Sir Matthew and Lord Gaston, and the champions being Big John Dalton and whoever Buff Bagwell called in to help, since he's not medically cleared. I debated with myself about whether or not I want to spoil the surprise by telling you who Buff's replacement is, but since Memphis Wrestling didn't exactly hide who it is on their own YouTube channel, I'll tell you, it's Buff Bagwell's former tag team partner, Scotty Riggs. Scotty Riggs is looking good. That episode of Dark Side of the Ring that featured Buff Bagwell's story a while back, we got a little bit of the Scotty Riggs story in that as well, and he clearly had some demons to deal with. But it's nice to see him here, and he's looking healthy and ready to wrestle. He lands a great dropkick and dishes out a pair of great scoop slams as well. He's moving around the ring smoothly and is much more a part of this match than I expected, all things considered. He even moves a bit better than Buff Bagwell did a couple weeks ago. Bagwell is ringside cheering for his two former tag team partners, and the challengers end up having someone come out on their behalf as well. It's a good match, with all four participants putting on a memorable show. The main event of Championship Saturday is a match for the Heritage Championship. Herzog of the Circus is challenging K-toomer. Herzog, with the entire circus, enters first, and they all strike a sinister pose on the ring apron. Then the master of Fat Jitsu, K-toomer, enters next, and he's all business ready to go. Barnabas, the ringmaster, introduces Herzog as the newest member of the circus, calling him K-toomer's inescapable fate and the red plague of destruction. K-toomer isn't messing around, sure enough. He lays into Herzog as soon as the match begins. Herzog holds his own though. He's a good 6.5 feet tall or so and clearly has the height advantage here. K-toomer though has the speed advantage. It is only slowed down when the circus gets involved. I've said it before and I'll say it again. K-toomer is one of my favorite indie wrestlers working today. He's a large man, but he doesn't rely solely on his size advantage. He can do things in the ring that you normally see smaller guys do, and it's super entertaining. I'm grateful promotions like Memphis Wrestling and Reality of Wrestling feature him. Yes, Reality of Wrestling. K-toomer announced on his social media that he'll be making another appearance at ROW very soon. If you like pro wrestling, do yourself a favor and check out Memphis Wrestling. You can find them on YouTube, where you can watch individual matches, or you can watch the entire show as a single YouTube video, which is how I recommend you do it. So you can get all the action and all the bits between the matches and see more of the storytelling building up. Hence, we're dropped about upcoming episodes throughout Championship Saturday. So go check it out now. But not before you like and subscribe to the Suplex stream, so you know when I take a look at another wrestling show here on YouTube. I'm Brother D, and I believe in indie wrestling.
The following contest is our opening bout set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. And it is for the Memphis Wrestling Women's Championship!
Oh